Hey, Brandon, can I just make a point and clarify what Ruhif is saying?
Sure.
About that stop sign?
Sure.
What he is saying is that at that distance, you cannot resolve it. But the light from that stop sign, Paige, please be quiet for a moment.
Oh,
the light from the stop sign is
you
still
made my headphones squeal when you did that. Can you not do that again, please?
Don't interrupt
Can
anyone.
I please finish my point? So Ruhif is saying the light from the stop sign is still hitting your eyes. You cannot resolve it. Pull out your P900. That stop sign is visible again.
Correct again.
Not if there's a high amount of refraction. Not if there's a high amount of refraction. Not if there's a high amount of refraction. Not if there's a high amount of refraction.
You're saying that further distance would not be able to resolve the stop sign at 10 miles?
I'm sorry, was that a question?
You're saying that further distance would not be able to resolve the stop sign at 10 miles?
So once again for the cheap seats, did you just ask me a question, dOgMA?
You're saying that further distance would not be able to resolve the stop sign at 10 miles?
Okay, listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. The atmospheric optics, which are dependent upon numerous variables like barometric pressure, air. Just let me answer the question, please. Okay, everybody waxes eloquent. Okay, just all those variables, right? If you have an object at, let's say, 5 miles away, that the refractive index is distorting, your camera can't undo the distortion. It'll take a picture. Okay, so there's your answer. Oh. That's what I said.
All I was doing was just at this basic level. I'm not adding in any refraction or other distortion.
That's your problem.
No.
Did you hear the answer? Because that was a good answer.
Because you're assuming that there's always going to be some atmospheric condition that would make it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you show me? Yeah, great. Can you please show me any photo that you would like
We're
to
not
produce?
showing you anything, Travis.
Shut
Scarlett Johansson. The answer was yes.
The way
he said,
always
you're
go.
assuming there's always going to be some atmospheric effect that's going to impact your long distance observations.
Scarlett Johansson.
We are.
Right, but I'm asking him now because the implicit opposite claim for him is that there are times when refraction doesn't do that. So all I'm going to say is, can you please show me something at 5 miles where there's zero refraction and no distortion and no displacement?
There's never zero refraction.
I'm not talking to you, fucking Ruhif. I'm not talking. I'm talking. I'm talking to dOgMA. dOgMA, do you think that there are ever conditions where refraction is so low there's no distortion or displacement?
There's always going to be distortion over long distance due to refraction.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Then
what? Then I don't understand why you asked the question that you did. So once again for the cheap seats, did you just ask me a question, dOgMA?
You're saying that further distance would not be able to resolve the stop sign at 10 miles? Ask what question?
You don't even know the question you just asked me?
You can be very intelligent and very good at what you do, and you can still be stupid.
You're saying that further distance would not be able to resolve the stop sign at 10 miles?
Well, you made a statement, Travis.
I think I made a statement. I didn't ask a question.
Yeah.
You're saying that further distance would not be able to resolve the stop sign at 10 miles?
Okay, well, to me, hold on. To me, there was an implicit question of incredulity because I made the claim that refraction is going to distort. So then he made a statement that made it seem to me that he thought that there were times when that didn't happen.
What I
took it the same way.
Refraction varies all the time. There's going to be times where it's so bad you wouldn't even be able to see 3 miles.
Great. Brandon, can you bring up that last picture I sent to you? Just the one single one, please. I have a question for the heliocentric
Sure.
panel.
Sure. There you go.
All right. So this is what my observation, one of the observation points that I make here on the Chesapeake Bay.
Oh God.
Where I set up right on the shoreline next to a posted no swimming, 5.5 feet. This house that is there in the off-center frame is 5.85 miles away. My question to you, gentlemen, is what's creating the limit to the water?
Yeah, we had this conversation the other day, Travis.
What's creating the limit to the water?
What
Where
do you
is
mean
this
by
photo?
limit to the water? Do you mean
Okay.
the last blue water you can see?
All right. dOgMA, do you understand my question?
I don't
It'd be
see
the
your
angle
photo,
of
so
sight
not
and-
really.
Okay,
to be honest.
James, I'm not talking to you, please. dOgMA, I didn't hear what you said.
I do not see the photo that you're talking about.
You need to click on Brandon's name. It says live. He's sharing his screen.
Let me go up there just a sec here.
All right.
It's Travis taking a
is
photo of
paid-
another inferior mirage.
Is
I
paid
still
here,
don't see
paid's
it.
not here, okay? Okay,
Okay,
so
now I see it.
okay, so at the bottom of the frame you can see water.
Yep.
And then as you look up the frame, the water apparently comes to an end.
Well,
Why does it-
what I looks like what I see is that there is a bit of an inferior mirage here.
I'm not asking you about the inferior mirage, sir.
Well,
I'm
I do see
asking-
Travis,
that.
don't be a cunt, Travis.
Okay. I'm not
Yeah,
asking
okay,
you.
There's water with an inferior mirage on top of it.
What is creating the limit to the water?
What do you mean the
Please
limit to
define the
Okay.
limit to the water.
Okay. Can you see water at all?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I
Okay,
don't
great.
understand your question.
Okay, great. I walked you through it earlier. Go to the bottom of the frame and you can see water.
Yeah.
Continue up the frame until you can no longer see water.
Yeah,
There's an
that's when the
apparent-
inferior mirage starts.
Okay, so my question to you is, what is creating the limit to the water? Why don't
In
you
this
see more
case,
water?
I would probably say
See you guys.
the bottom of the inferior mirage.
Okay, very, very good. Very good. Now, if we were to now back away 10 miles, 15 miles, and this inferior mirage is the cause of the limit of the water, and you're looking 10 miles away, what's creating the limit of the water there?
If there was an inferior mirage on it, it would be that. But how thick and
No,
angular size is that inferior mirage?
no.
What do you mean?
So now, because we're staying with the same cause. The cause of the limit to the water at 5 miles is the cause to the limit of the water at 10 miles. And as I said, if we have the same photo, but we're backing up 20 miles now we're 20 miles away looking at this. What's creating the limit to the water 20 miles away?
And as I said, if there is the same inferior mirage above the water, it would be that. But at
Okay,
20
great. So
miles,
it's never
how
Earth curve.
big-
Thank you.
That doesn't say anything.
Yes, it does. The
Yes,
limit of the water, the limit of the water
It says
is
everything, dude.
the limit of the water is always a refractive phenomenon. Whether
So
or
what
not
you
there.
are saying is, so what you're really saying is
Effie.
inferior
Effie
mirage.
does
Hold on, Data. Please hold on, Data. Please. I didn't hear you, dOgMA. I didn't hear you.
But you seem to be saying that inferior mirages prove the Earth is flat.
No. This is my alternative explanation. This is my falsification that whenever you see it, hold on. This is my falsification that whenever you see a limit to the water at distances of 20 miles, 10 miles, or 5, it is never Earth curve.
So you're saying inferior mirages cannot happen on a globe. So you're saying inferior mirages cannot happen on a globe?
Okay, that is a non sequitur.
Brilliant, Travis.
That
That's
is
brilliant.
not what I claimed. My claim, listen very carefully. My claim is that when you have a limit to the water, in this picture, we can clearly see that there's an inferior mirage, and you've already conceded that the cause of the limit to the water is the inferior mirage. Now, we're just going to keep this picture and back up 20 miles, and we can still see an inferior mirage. What's creating the limit?
What you're telling me, there's always an inferior mirage.
No.
Okay,
Smurf
what about
listen.
the same photo without an inferior mirage?
Okay, Brandon, pull up one of the other ones, please.
Do you know what an omega sun is?
Okay, we're talking about these observations right here.
Mm-hmm.
Each of these, this has an inferior mirage, this has an inferior mirage, and this does not have an inferior mirage. They were all taken from the same location. Can you scroll to the middle again, please? Can you tell which one was shot? Zoom out a little bit, please, Brandon. Can you tell which one was shot with a different optical zoom? Now I'm gonna give you a little bit of an inside. I have the same setup in each of these photos. My camera is set up in the exact same physical location, so my distance hasn't changed and my height hasn't changed. I'm simply asking you, based on what you can see, which one is shot with a different optical zoom?
It would be hard to tell. If I'm going to make a guess, the building on the right photograph looks a little bit wider, so that one might have a different optical zoom. But
all right, they are all shot with the same optical zoom.
And your point is?
The horizon is in a different position in each of them. So here is my claim. No matter if you're looking over terrestrial distance or aquatic, the horizon is always the result of a refractive phenomenon, whether or not there's a mirage or not.
And how does that prove that we don't live on a globe?
It doesn't prove that we don't live on a globe. It proves that the horizon is not caused by the curve of the Earth.
Well, you just said that proves that we don't live on a globe.
No, you can have a fucking ball if you want. It's just not going to be the proportions that you're told that it is, so it's wrong.
He's pretty much saying the
You're
boat's
making
not
a lot of assumptions out of
disappearing
this.
over
All
a
you're
curve.
doing is showing me photographs and
Just
then
refraction.
saying this proves this.
No, what's my claim? What's
He's
my
not
claim?
assuming anything.
Yeah, I'm not assuming anything. I'm showing you
He
photos.
literally has not assumed a single thing.
Hey, dOgMA, do you have an issue with observational science?
And he even said he'll give you
Hold
the
on,
ball.
let dOgMA answer
Like,
that
he
question.
literally
Do you
said
have a
that.
problem with observational science?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Because that's what he's doing here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the Earth is not a globe, and let's say you have a water horizon without land behind it, where is the water beyond the horizon?
It is behind the refraction phenomenon. If there is no mirage, then it is simply a refraction phenomenon. Okay, there is refraction there.
Would you agree that it is basically converged into a horizon line? So the water beyond the horizon is not above the horizon nor below the horizon, right?
All right. If you give me a moment, I'm going to pull up one of the photos that I showed the other day on the show. You might not have seen it, but give me just a second. I'm going to have to show you a different photo because it's going to be able to answer.
Logical.
It's going to be able to answer your question. I just have to get a different one because these have land behind them. Okay, so just give me a moment, please. Okay, I'm gonna
Can you ask that
Brandon.
question again for me?
Who are you talking to?
What was you asking him?
Who are you talking to?
The one that asked you a question.
That's dOgMA. Okay, so dOgMA.
What was your question for him again?
Well, my question is, on a flat Earth, where would the water beyond the water horizon be on a flat Earth? Obviously, it would not be above the horizon. Obviously, it would not be below the horizon.
I have the ability to answer that question. Brandon, if you wouldn't mind, let me look to see which one. I think the first one that I showed you, which has the zoomed out, the first one that I sent you. Okay, can you pull that one up, please?
Can anyone else feel his cogs turning?
Just let it set. Just let it set.
So again,
okay. So here we go. Hold on. Okay, listen, please. Listen. This is the city of New Orleans. From my observation point, 28 miles away. Okay, I am in Maryville, Louisiana, at the Sunset Park. Shout out to Rakia Life for giving me this point of view to go shoot from. Okay, so that cityscape in the distance is the city of New Orleans. Okay,
you're not answering my question, though.
Okay, will you please be patient, because this is how I'm going to answer your question. So we can see the cityscape. Now, to the left of the cityscape, it appears to be only open sky. To the right of the cityscape, it appears only to be open sky. So that meets your questions. What happens when there's nothing behind it? Where's the water? Correct?
No.
No?
If the Earth is flat, there's going to be thousands of miles of water beyond that horizon. Where is it?
Okay, I'm pretty sure that does. Okay,
let me just simplify this. Would you agree that it should be converged into the horizon line?
This goes back to the thought. Hold on. No. Please, this is me.
Just
please.
Answer my question.
Well, I can answer.
Okay. No, James, please, pretty please. I'm not trying to give you word salad, dOgMA. Okay. This goes into the same example that you were given as you're looking over a chessboard. The angle at which the horizon is apparently rising as it goes into the distance, that convergence point where the apparent sky meets the apparent water is a very tight, acute angle. So you're going to lose every bit of information that's beyond that. That's not only the listen, that's not only the limit of your eye, that's also the result of the conditions of the medium through which you are looking. Brandon, if you would pull up the next photo, please.
And again, if the Earth is flat, there's going to be thousands of miles of land or water.
I'm going to show you something. No, not that one. Not that one. The one before that, please. That's the PA's.
Let me just say something real quick. It's not really answering the way you want, but let me just say something. So
James, bro, I'm sorry, bro. No, this is my turn. This is my time. Okay.
Give me one moment. I gotta go get some water from the kitchen.
I can answer it, dude. It's real simple.
You can wait your turn too, James.
James,
but
just
he's
let
gone
Travis
right now.
finish. God.
Okay, so now dOgMA. Now we are 28 miles away, and we have an inferior mirage. Can you see the inferior mirage?
I see it, and you still have not answered my question.
Okay, go ahead and ask it.
Where is the water or land on a flat Earth that is beyond that horizon?
It's behind the refractive phenomena.
So you would agree that would basically be converged into a line that continues beyond that.
Okay, if you look at if you look at the bottom of the screen,
we are in agreement there.
If you look at
on a flat Earth.
Okay, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you see water. As you look up toward the middle of the screen, you are not looking at a 90-degree angle. You're looking over the x-axis. You're looking over depth.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, great. So you would continue to look over depth once you pass the horizon, it continues to go over and farther into the distance. The farthest building to the left has the more severe inferior mirage, correct? Well, actually not, because there's one little dot to the right of the center. You see that little dot to the right?
The inferior mirage would be pretty much constant all the way through in terms of what it's doing, wouldn't it?
Except for the height of the building. Except for the height of the building. Okay,
well,
the height.
Building, yeah, but the height of the building is not a factor of the mirage. That's the factor of the size.
I didn't say that it was. I didn't say that it was, although it does contribute to how the mirage presents the object behind it. Okay, so if you see that building to the very far left, it looks as though it's floating in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay. The sky, apparent sky, beneath that very left building is a mirage. It is not sky.
Yeah. Well, it's actually light from the sky that is being refracted by the mirage, but we see it below the building in this case. Listen
very carefully. The sky that is apparently below that building is a mirage.
I just agreed with that, but it is also.
I don't need you to break down the science of it. I don't need you to break down the science of it. I didn't ask you a question. Okay? So if you go to the very next building to the right, the sky mirage is more acute. The reason for that is because that building is taller than the one to the left.
So what is the point you're getting at here?
The point that I'm getting at is two things. Well, three. First, the limit to the water is created by the mirage, not by the curve of the Earth. Secondly, whatever is behind the mirage is still there physically, you just can't see it. Third, the farther distance beyond that is beyond and behind a phenomenon of refraction, which is obstructing your ability to see any farther or behind those buildings.
So that building on the far left, do you know how tall it is?
Nope.
How come?
So the tallest building in New Orleans, I'm glad you asked that. The tallest buildings in New Orleans, the tallest one is 697 feet. There's a 645, and then it drops down to 531 at 28 miles, 28 times 28. We'll just do a rough calculation here just to give people an idea. This doesn't take refraction into account and really doesn't mean that much at the end of the day. But it is 28 times 28 times 0.66 is 517 feet of hidden at that distance, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't follow that. But
okay,
but
Brandon.
Let me ask this in a different way. We do see an inferior mirage there. Let's say that we were able to remove that inferior mirage. Are you saying that you would now see the shoreline of New Orleans there?
If you would like to go back to one of my panels, Brandon.
No.
Just I'm going to show you your answer.
Which panel?
Just with the one that says which one has different focal length. The panel. That's a single frame. The panel. Okay. So, well, actually, you know what? No, go to the very first one I sent you. That's just got a double pane.
Stick with the photograph that we're looking at.
This one is going to be a visual demonstration. Brandon, I'm so sorry. This one. Okay. On the right, we have a severe refraction phenomenon. On the left, we can see straight down to the shoreline. In fact, we can see the boat dock and the boat ramp. Now, the answer to your question is, if you could wipe away the mirage, that's exactly what you would see.
What you are ignoring is that
awesome.
It's quite a bit smaller than those buildings in New Orleans.
It doesn't matter. This is
point
5
is,
point.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
Go
You're
back
ignoring.
Go back to the New Orleans photograph.
Fine, we'll play your game.
Sir.
Go to the very last photo, Brandon, that has the text on it with the yellow line across it, please.
So here's my point. What you are not doing is showing us how big these buildings are in real life and comparing it to the size of that mirage.
Very
I
good.
agree that mirage is hiding some of those buildings, but I know that mirage is not hiding all of the bottom of the building on the left.
That's incorrect. That's absolutely incorrect.
Well, show me a photograph of these buildings in real size.
Would you like to? Okay, great. dOgMA, fantastic. I have a GoFundMe right now where I am asking anyone to contribute to my ability to be free to make these kinds of observations, because I'm going to tell you, dOgMA, I don't know what one day is going to present to me. I don't know, dOgMA, if it's possible for me to see the other shoreline to New Orleans. I don't know. But guess what? If I go there for a week and I don't get you the data that you'd like, that's because the conditions weren't right. It could take me a year. Okay, that last picture that I just showed you with the two panels next to each other, I have never gotten as clear an image as the left one. And it was taken just 3 weeks ago. And I've been doing this for over 2 years. Okay? So
can I ask you just let that.
Go ahead.
You are on the other side of Lake Pontchartrain, looking, I would believe, south to New Orleans, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What I'll do, I don't think, I'll have to do it next week because I won't be able to be here tomorrow or the weekend. But I'll show you what my point is, and I'll use photographs.
I think I understand your point. My rebuttal to that point is that the refraction is not going to allow you to do a blink test on this. You cannot blink test these.
Why not? Why not?
Because the refraction is going to filament your scale.
All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. It's 8 o'clock. I got some pizza getting cold. I'm going to go off and eat that. Don't forget, this Saturday, 11 a.m. on this channel will be my debate with Fight the Flat Earth. So that should be interesting. He says he's going to take me up on some of the NASA bashing that I've done, which is fine. And I've got a couple of other topics that we're going to discuss too. Hopefully that will be a good debate. And we'll be back tomorrow as well. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for those who supported the channel through Streamlabs and Super Chat. Thank you to the mods. And thank you to my channel members. So shout out channel members. I really appreciate it. I'll try to say thank you more often here. And if I can get to it, I'll shout out the channel members. Yeah, it was a pretty good show tonight. I kind of lost my temper there for a minute with RUHIF, but I don't know. Sometimes it just gets to me. It seems like they're purposely not wanting to say a specific answer like he was doing. It just kind of got to me, but whatever. It happens. Let me say the channel members. Shout out to James Richard. Shout out P Mantis, Brian Leakey, Helvetica Bold, Logan's Run, Hated 1949, Earth Circus, Super Flurf, Godzilla 37, 787 Gen X. Thank you guys for being channel members. And thanks to the audience, those in chat, for the excellent engagement during the show. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good one. Adios.